Traders, welcome back to another price action trading lesson where we're using price action rules to help us identify high probability setups. My first task is to identify the pre-market structure, and this right here would be the pre-market structure I'm looking today before the US stock market open. Now the first question I have to ask myself is, what is the bias? And the bias in this market is somewhat bullish. Each new major low is higher than the previous one, and each new major high is higher than the previous one. Remember, I'm only relying on the price action. I'm not using any fancy indicators to help me, determine what is the bias. I have 21 bar exponential moving average, but this is a supportive indicator only. So I can see we have bullish structure, but this is not a strong trend because my second task is to identify a pattern, because these candles, the price action is not random. They're always following a pattern. So I'm looking for bullish channel, but this structure is not a strong uptrend by any means. It is quite a weak uptrend. It has ladder range-like characteristics, flat EMA, price swings up and down. So I'm still following my short-term channels because I don't know what's going to happen on the right. I'm just watching this, so I'm sticking to my short-term channels. However, notice we have a push below EMA and we have reversal pattern. Am I looking to sell? Not really. We identified that the structure is somewhat bullish. It is right around the open and we have congestion. Even though it worked for a scalp, you don't want to be taking entries in congestion, and market created second leg down. You have first leg down, pull back, second leg down. So I'm always trying to visualize the two legs to help me understand what's going to happen, because market likes to move in pairs of twos, and after two-legged pullback happens, there's a chance that the market will reverse. Now here's the important information from the market given to me, because the downtrend created two-legged pullback, and downtrend here is no longer working lower and there is no wider channel. Instead, you have push above EMA, and this is important. Once I see two legs down and push above EMA here, this is confirming my initial idea that the bias is bullish, and right now I'm safe to be looking for a channel. So I'm going to use this channel because first two swings are helping me to set up the trend line, and third swing confirmed it. So I'm just going to copy it, put it at the top. We have uptrend working to the upside, and this gives me bias, and I'm just looking for reasons to go long. This is the lowest low, and we have first entry short, pull back, and we don't get second entry short. Now, why am I counting for second entry short? It's because I don't want, not because I want to sell, but because I'm looking for second entry short to get trapped. I want to go long. Now, when I was watching this live, I had felt second entry short here below EMA, but since it was below EMA, not really above, I don't really think it was such a great entry. Right now, I can see that I only have high-low after refreshing and reloading more data. Now, notice this uptrend needs to get new high. We have first entry long, pull back, second entry long, and you can see some small support is forming. This uptrend doesn't have new high yet, which I expect to get new extreme. We have a closeout height. According to price action rules, I need to get new extreme. The downtrend played out with the break and new extreme. You can see I'm following these channels. New low here, new low here, new high, first entry long, second entry long. As I see strong push above EMA here, I want to see high-low confirmation setup of the second entry long. That would have been a great setup, but you can see it never formed. I get high-low here, but it is way too far up. I just reached new extreme. I cannot take high-low like this, but notice market is not reversing down after new low, which you would be expecting at least correction. Instead, you have very strong push above EMA and prices keep continuing working higher. So this is not how price action is generally behaving after you get a break and new extreme. So these are first signs that there's possibly a stronger trend on our hands and that the bias is bullish. Now, I have new high, first entry long, pullback, second entry long. Now we have visual larger two-legged pullback. Once again, market likes to move in pairs of two. First leg down, second leg down. We touch the EMA and the signal bar is nice. And this can be a first decent high probability setup for today. Now we also have smaller triple test. You can see the small support that gives this setup more strength that the buyers are gonna keep buying in this market. I wasn't really sure here. I was being a little bit more patient. I want to see generally more confirmation, but the smaller triple test and the fact that the downtrend played out with the break new low, and once it looks like a sideways visual two legs, you can make a case. And after I see prices not reversing after new high, this is where I have to redraw slightly wider pattern, and the pattern I drew at this point was uptrend like this. You can see how nicely it's fitting off the lows and how nicely it's fitting off the highs. Now you don't have to be perfect when it comes to identifying the channels, but you have to be close. You can see this is right now the channel working. You have a two-legged pullback and we have new low, first entry short, failure, second entry short, failure. And we have a failed second entry short. And notice this big bearish bar trap a lot of sellers who are trying to pick top, but I'm not really looking to sell right now. EMA is pointing up. We keep pushing above EMA. The bias is clearly bullish. And this right here is a felt second entry short. And this was actually my first one and only trade for the day. Decent bullish signal bar, confirming this triple test, and market kept pushing higher. And notice we had overshoot. So now that I see that the prices keep strong and working to the upside, I'm going to redraw a short-term pattern like this. But right now I have a decision to make because the bias is looking very strong. If I'm going to zoom back, you can see that there is no denying this is a very strong uptrend, but I have potential overshoot. So I need to be a little bit more careful. Now, when I see overshoot like this, I generally don't want to be taking second entry long. And also I'm drawing my channel wider. You can see I can draw my channel tight like this, but I don't want to cherry pick. Once I see overshoot, I generally tend to draw my channels wider because overshoot can generate strong momentum in the opposite direction. And also I don't want to take second entry long. So here we have second entry long. Even though it ended up working, I'm not interested. I have an overshoot. I don't know what's going to happen next on the right side of the chart. I have a short-term downtrend that needs to get a break at a new extreme. Only I have a break, attempt to create a new low, I can be thinking about possible resumption of the bullish momentum. And notice what we have. You have a close outside, move to a new low, and it looks like there's going to be high low. But high low form as this quite little doji below EMA. So once I was watching this live, I almost gave up on the idea that we're gonna get high low. But notice right after, market ticked lower, instantly reversed up, and you get such a nice bullish bar. And this is where you can now go long. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to catch it. I kind of was caught off guard because once I saw this high low first, I thought, okay, we might not gonna get high low, we're just gonna make new low and then we're gonna go higher. But right after, there's a nice bullish bar, it ticked lower, instantly reversed. It was very hard to catch. You had to use stop order, but you can see downtrend had a break, attempt to create new low once, twice, triple test, push above EMA, great high low confirmation of the second entry long, and market continue working higher. Now, as I was watching this, we have quite a strong push above exponential moving average, and this didn't feel much like an overshoot because this was such a very strong bullish uptrend, especially on a 10,000 tick chart. So you can even keep this channel on the chart. You can see it pretty much gets you to the same place. You have a break, new extreme, market is correcting. What I did when I was watching this live, because this felt too strong and too steep, I was looking for possible channel, something like this. Okay, it doesn't really matter that much. It gets me to same place. Either way, I'm bouncing off the trend channel line. You can see it still gets us to same place. You have a break, new extreme, but this feels a little bit stronger because this trend was quite steep, quite strong, and it fits better on higher time frames. So I have a break of this channel, move to a new extreme. Either way, if I have overshoot or I'm bouncing off the trend channel line, pay attention to how trends operate. This is a push phase, correction phase back to the trend line. We have a push phase and another correction phase back to the trend channel line. So every single time you're coming off the trend channel line, and here we are bouncing 3 times off the trend channel line, we can see that the correction may be stronger. For this reason, you don't want to be too eager to go long just yet. Sometimes traders forget to think that trends have to have corrections. You're just focusing on this little portion of price action. You want to go long, you want to go long. But no, notice how long we've been working to the upside, and we're right now bouncing off the trend channel line. So we have to reverse. We have a downtrend working lower, and I can only go long after this downtrend plays out. Notice we have a push above EMA, and we have high-low below exponential moving average. One trader asked me about this high-low. Well, you cannot go long here. Why? Because the downtrend needs to get new extreme. So if you're trading a downtrend that doesn't have new low, you can only take felt second entry short, but EMA didn't even hold. You have high-low that is below EMA. And once you see prices pushing below EMA strongly, this is indication to you that the bears are going to get new low. EMA needs to hold for you to be thinking about going long. If EMA is not holding, there's no reason for us to be thinking about buying. All right, so you definitely want to see felt second entry short because this downtrend is new low, and also it is just a first leg. Remember, market likes to move in pairs of twos. So there are multiple reasons for you to be really patient, and if you're not expecting a new low, you want to see at least felt second entry short. And for this reason, since this was high low below EMA and you have such a strong push down, and you expect second leg, you expect new extreme, traders can take this lower high with great signal bar right below EMA. This is not personally my kind of setup that I take every single time, because personally I like to follow the main bias. I just wait for the correction to deplete and look for longs again. But from price action perspective, this is a great lower high because you expect second leg down, you expect new extreme, and you have strong push below exponential moving average. Larger correction was reached, measured move played out, and this is why I'm training my eyes to look for these two-legged pullbacks, because you can see every single time there's a two-legged pullback and the measured move is reached, the bears are over and buyers are starting to buy again when the correction phase is ending and the push phase is starting. So we have a first break of a channel, we expect new extreme according to rules, or if you're playing the previous channel with the overshoot, once you see the two-legged correction playing out and push above EMA, you're still thinking long and you want to buy. I'm not really drawing wider channel just yet, because I'm drawing wider channels for the shortened patterns that are with the direction of the trend, because they are stronger. But when it comes to counter trend corrections, I like to draw them tight because I want to stay on top of them reaching a break and a new extreme. And if it looks like visual 2 legs, I definitely am starting to think about buying. However, I don't really like going long just yet, even though it worked for scalp here, here, and here. You never know how many pushes lower there's going to be, and you can see EMA rejecting every single time. So it's getting a little bit squeezed. It's very hard to predict if you're going to go long exactly from this point. It is better to wait for push above EMA. Now you can see you have new low, first entry short pullback, second entry short failure, but there is no trigger above this bullish bar, so it never triggered. But you can see that this uptrend has a break new high, and you have first leg up, second leg up. So you will be buying at the very top of this move. If it triggered, it's probably not the best entry regardless, but I can reset the count here because I have a lot of matching lows at the same price level, which allows me to reset the count at the latest low, and I have new low, first entry short, pullback, second entry short, failure. Great bullish bar, context is bullish, I expect new extreme to be reached, and this is a great high probability setup. Now, I didn't really like taking this setup. I had a couple conflicting beliefs. It felt too range-like. It felt like you're buying the breakout. It just felt a little bit early. However, you don't want to be cherry picking as a trader because you have a rules that you follow. If I'm being completely honest here, me cherry picking right here was not the textbook way how to approach the market. Of course, sometimes I cherry pick and I get lucky, but sometimes I cherry pick and I miss a good setup. So you don't really want to be cherry picking that much. I got a little bit lucky here. It just felt a little bit early as you're buying the breakout, a little bit too stacked overall. But it's a great fill second entry short. You know, price action rules are really telling us here to go long. So I really cannot not mark it. It is a great setup on the rules. The overall bullish trend is resuming. Unfortunately, it just stalled a little bit before it eventually rallied up higher. You can't really predict it. You can't get frustrated. For whatever reason, it just stalled for a couple more minutes, stopped everybody out just for them to see it go exactly where you thought it was going to go. So a little bit unfortunate that you have the right idea, everything aligns perfectly, but just stalled a little bit. Now you have correction, and here's the area where you expect to get same thing. You expect to get a failed second entry short, but you never get it above EMA. Every single time you're below EMA, and after you push above EMA, you have no good setup near the EMA. You just keep pushing hard without a great setup, and you have a new high for this channel. So we expect correction or possible reversal. But when I'm trading in such a very strong uptrend like this, I expect sooner or later resumption of this bullish momentum. You're most likely not going to get reversal, and I like to still be thinking long after the bearish correction plays out. For this reason, personally, I don't really like going short just yet. There is one decent new low, first entry short, second entry short, which you can take if you're a little bit more aggressive, because you can't make a case for wider channel like this. This would be too wide. It looks like clear 2 legs, and this uptrend has a break new high. And after you have such a nice 2-legged pullback at the EMA, you're probably coming back all the way down to this support of this trend range, because right now you've been working sideways for quite a long time. So you can make a case for taking a short here. However, after you finally have a break, couple legs to new low, this is where I start thinking about going long again. Now, I don't really want to pick bottom just yet. I would like to see failed second entry short above EMA, which it never formed. You have higher low here, no push above EMA, so I'm just waiting here, waiting. You can see EMA keeps rejecting. You have failed breakout, and you have new high, first entry long, pullback, second entry long. Now this is tempting because notice, if you're going to zoom back, just like we talked about, even though you have a break new high, if it's such a strong uptrend, 90% of the time, the bullish bias is going to remain. You're just going to keep pushing higher eventually. And here, this is a very nice, notice the static support, and this is textbook failed breakout of this smaller trailing range. Very tempting. And here you have much safer setup, high-low confirmation of the failed breakout. High-low can confirm failed breakout. It is a great bullish bar. You really expect for market to go back into the trailing range, and you have another failed breakout here because this bullish spike is very strong. Coming after failed breakout, needs to get new high, and you have congestion. You broke to the downside, and you're fading the breakout with the direction of the main trend. These two setups, however, form right when the market is closing, so you don't want to be going long here. Anyway, this is just hypothetical if it formed during earlier time. We're looking at S&P 500 and mini futures. I'm going to be sharing you my live trading session, and I'm going to be trading relying only on price action because I'm a price action trader. Now, my goal is to identify the structure, and I can see that we have a somewhat of a medium bullish uptrend because we keep creating series of high lows. Each new major low is higher than the previous one, and each new major high is higher than the previous one. Now, I'm drawing these channels and these key levels because they're important and they're helping me to make sense of what the structure is doing, because there's a reason to every single price movement. And right now we can see that the downtrend depleted with first leg down, little correction, second leg down that consists of two smaller legs. Given that we push so strong above EMA, this is indicating to me that the main bullish bias is resuming, and right now I'm thinking bullish. All right, so we have new low, first entry short, pullback, second entry short. The reason why I'm accounting for a second entry short is because the two-legged pullback to the downside is going to be most likely a trap because the overall sentiment in this market is bullish. However, the EMA didn't hold, and we have failed second entry short below exponential moving average. So there can be one more push down, and for this reason, I'm not really looking to go long just yet. I wanted to see failed second entry short forming above EMA, so I'm just waiting, letting the price action do its thing, and I'm looking for high probability setups to go long. This uptrend needs to get new extreme according to price action rules, and the downtrend correction already played out. Alright, prices are pushing higher following the overall bullish bias. So you can see this is what I do. I'm trying to focus on first analyzing the context, then finding the pattern, and then trying to look for high probability setup. That's all I do. And you can see how market corrects in the form of a two-legged pullback, and this is why I'm looking for the two-legged pullbacks as high probability setup, because now that you have a little bit of time, notice first leg down, second leg down, correction played out. First leg down, second leg down, correction played out. First leg down, second leg down, correction played out, and there are two small legs within this one leg. So every single time I see the second leg finishing, this is where I'm starting to thinking about the resumption of this trend, and I'm looking to buy. I was looking for a nice second entry long here. A lot of times that's what's going to form after failed second entry short below EMA. Never really form on my chart. You can see market just keeps pushing higher. Decent setup here. I prefer EMA holding though. It was only a double bottom. If it was triple test, would have been much better. Alright traders, so the news announcement came out. Wasn't really that volatile, but we can see the bias is still bullish. I was looking for some high low above EMA. Maybe we can still get some little pullback because we had new high, first entry long, pullback, second entry long, strong push above EMA, confirming the bullish momentum, and quick high low above EMA would be ideal because it would be confirmation setup of the second entry long above EMA. But on my chart, there is no trigger below this bearish bar indicating first attempt to sell. So there's technically no high low, just one seamless leg working higher. But you can see overall the direction of the market playing out exactly as we predicted. Corrections have breaks and new extremes, and market keeps working higher. So far price action is very clean and nice. We had initial break at a new extreme of the uptrend, but this is not how price action is supposed to react after I have a new extreme. And you can see that we still have EMA holding. We have small support here, and for this reason I'm widening the channel. It fits nicely off to these highs. It also fits somewhat well off of these lows. So this looks to me like a wider uptrend is being developed. So this is the pattern that I'm focusing, and right now we can see structure working high. I wasn't sure here because I had a breaking new high. Looking back, we also had small triple tests, so that adds a reason to go long here. If you had the wider channel instantly, you can go long here. Alright, just I'm going to resume the videos. I'm going to take a failed second entry short setup. I'm gonna keep my entry a little bit lower. I'm gonna quickly move it to a tick target profit. I'm looking at new low. First attempt to sell, pullback, second attempt to sell. and we have felt second entry short. After this larger two-legged pullback held and market showed bullish momentum, right now this is a big bearish bar. We have a felt second entry short, a decent bullish bar. It ended quite nice, so I'm risking to take this setup even though it's not perfectly at the EMA. And you can see we are having some pullback. I'm willing to risk it because the uptrend right now is proven and is holding pretty nicely here. We're very close to getting our target. We are one tick away. Come on. New low, first attempt to sell, failed. Second attempt to sell, failed. Bouncing off my exit order, but we need to tick through. Come on. Come on. This was the reason why I'm extending the channel, this larger two-legged wider pullback, and we finally tick through. So I'm going to tighten it to break even. We got our scalp. Market just keeps slowly but surely creeping higher. I'm not going to be too greedy with the runner. I'm going to take it somewhere around here. Let's see here. All right, so I'm resuming the video as we may hit our runner here. I'm tightening this. We have quite overextended push phase, so I'm very happy to be... Actually, I'm just going to do it like this. Well, let's do it like this. And this way, if we just keep pushing higher, I'm just going to... And we got out. So we managed to get a little bit of runner. So we can see that the market kept pushing higher. And just as I decided to take my runner early and not be greedy, we managed to get a massive overshoot. So we can see for this reason, I'm drawing my channel to the downside a little bit wider. But we can see that the bias is still quite strong bullish. And definitely I'm not thinking about selling at all. So I'm just watching if we get some nice short trap. If we're going to stay above EMA, I'm going to have to adapt and take some longs. All right, so we just had high low that was tempting, but look at the horrible doji bar below EMA. So I didn't like entering here, but notice what happened shortly after. We actually had a tick lower, an instant reversal up. Follow-up bar was so strong. This would have ended up being a nice trade because the downtrend has a break. First attempt to create new low, pull back. Second attempt to create new low. You can see small support holding and managed to close above EMA, but there's a gap back and you would have never been filled unless you use the stop order entry. Market keeps correcting to the downside stronger. For this reason, I'm drawing this channel because I don't want to keep buying, because either way, if you're playing the overshoot, so we expect stronger correction due to the overshoot, or if I'm playing a wider channel like this, we're coming off the trend channel line. So either way, I need to see a little bit stronger correction because from the trend channel line, the push phase ended. This uptrend has a break, new high, and now it's time for correction. So right now, I'm not even thinking about buying. I need to see break new low before the buying will resume. We also have larger two legs down, first leg down, pull back, second leg down. So this is where we are starting to think about buying. So let's see if we get some nice high probability setup to go long. Some high low, fell second entry short above EMA preferably. But the structure is still very strong bullish trend. Notice we had quite overextended push phase, break new extreme. Push phase is ending, correction is starting. This was a really nice high low. All right, so we had first entry short, second entry short failure, but it is too much of a trading range. It was too steep and I just don't really trust going long just yet. I would need to see a little bit more confirmation. The bullish bias is so strong that this setup is not bad, but just feels like we didn't really broke out of the trading range significantly. And for this reason, I'm really being patient here. Overall, bullish bias is still quite strong, but we've been working this trading range for such a long time here that I'm just not really sure if I want to go long just yet. When I look at 10,000 tick chart, we have pure congestion. You can snap back before you go higher. So for this reason, I need to be a little bit patient. But if these setups work, I would not be surprised because this is looking like a good setup. The bottom of this trading range has been reached. And this is where all the sellers are taking profits and buyers will resume the overall bullish trend. And right now we expect bullish reversal back to the upside. All right, traders, I'm going to wrap it up with my one single trade. The market didn't manage to reverse from here because the market is going to close in a couple of minutes and there's just not enough volume. It's a shame you didn't get a runner because a lot of times that is all you need, one scalp and a very good runner. Overall, a couple of decent setups, but you had to be quick. And the shame is we didn't really get a great high probability setup around here, nor here. This is where you would really expect a chance to go long, but all you get is a failed second entry short on a doji below EMA, just nothing really formed clean. And after that, it was just too slow and there was a consolidation.